Alright, what is going on, people? I am here today to explain to you why State of Decay 2 is literally the best zombie game that's ever been created. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why does this guy think that State of Decay 2 is the best zombie game that's ever been created? That's a little bit strong, but I'm going to tell you why. So when people talk about the best zombie games, they always talk about the same games. Things like DayZ, Call of Duty Zombies, The Last of Us, Left 4 Dead. But State of Decay 2 is always left out. In fact, State of Decay in general is always left out. That's not because it's a bad game. I don't know why that is, to be honest. I think it's just because it hasn't actually had loads and loads of people play it to the point where they can appreciate what it actually is. State of Decay isn't trying to be a cinematic story. It's not a hardcore military shooter, and it's not just a sandbox for zombie killing. It's way more ambitious than any of that. It's the only zombie game where you can actually build your own community and you have to survive. It adds real consequences to your decisions, and the higher the difficulty, the more those decisions impact you and your whole community. It's not just about having one person and running around. You've got a whole community to build and to make survive. Everything matters in State of Decay 2. All of your decisions matter. Everything you build matters. All the resources you get matters. It's not just like a zombie game where you run around, you die, and you respawn. That's not what State of Decay has ever tried to be. I started playing State of Decay from pretty much the very beginning when it was an Xbox arcade game, and as soon as I started playing it, I was basically in love. I thought, this is the best zombie game that is around. It covers everything you want it to cover, and it does more than that. State of Decay offers everything a true fan of zombie movies, zombie TV series, games and comics could even ask for. Setting up a home base, building facilities, recruiting people into your community, fighting infections before someone turns, making hard decisions like exiling community members if you can't heal them and get the infection gone, or even executing them, which is so dark. 2 minutes. Oh, I got a killer.
Wherever you're going, it's gotta be better than here.
Sorry,
Really going
but
to miss this place.
2 minutes. Oh, no way.
Wherever you're going, it's gotta be better than here. Get it over with.
Which is what we want from a zombie survival game. You want it to be dark. You want it to be gritty. Permadeath in your community. If someone dies, that's it. They're gone forever. They're not coming back. You've lost everything. You've got to manage your resources. If you start running out, you've got to go get more resources. You can set up outposts to give you certain resources, but they don't give you enough to run your whole community. You've still got to go out and scavenge for things. And you've got to do all of that while fighting hordes of zombies and other dangers on the map. So most survival games revolve around just a sole survivor. You're one person, you're the hero, and that's it. You're running around with that one person. If you end up dying, you just go back to like a checkpoint, or you respawn and you carry on. There's no risk really at all. State of Decay completely rejects that whole idea. There's no sole survivor. There's no hero of the game. there's a bunch of heroes, there's a bunch of survivors, and you can recruit even more and build a community that you want, and every single character that you recruit is playable. There's no one that you can't play. They're all accessible. They all have different skills. Every survivor that you have is expendable. And if you go out and someone dies, if you get someone killed, they're gone forever. Every time you go out scavenging, killing zombies, destroying plague hearts, doing missions, your survivor's stats that you're playing as at that precise moment in time, they slowly go up. Wits, stealth, quicker sneaking, quieter interactions and reduced visibility, increased stamina, lighter cumbrance limit and weapon durability. We want stealth. And over time you'll end up with certain characters that have high level stats, whether it's shooting, fighting, cardio, stuff like that. So permadeath doesn't just raise the stakes, it changes your psychology as a player. Sometimes you think to yourself, is this even worth the risk? Especially when you're on the higher difficulties. Like at the moment, I'm trying to do lethal difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty on the game, without using any guns, and I've realised that I've just got to creep around and I've got to take it really slow, and I end up thinking to myself, do I even want to take that risk? Do I want to go over there and go near that, or do I want to just go the long way round? Are those resources even worth me taking the risk? Because I could end up losing this character, and this character's got my best stats, so it adds actual risk to what you're doing, and it's permanent, because once you lose someone, everything that you've built with that person is gone. You know, you've got their skills are gone, their personality is gone, their relationships are gone. The game doesn't care, but you care, especially if they're one of your best characters in your community, because you don't want to lose your best people, especially if you've got certain stats that are high that allow that person to do certain things that the other people can't do. You don't want to end up losing that person. So it makes you think, do I want to risk it? Do I want to risk going here and potentially having this fight and losing this person? So I think State of Decay's greatest achievement is that the community itself becomes the protagonist. Like I said, it's not just one person. They've built the game so that everybody in your community actually matters, and you actually care about them, and you don't want them to die, because if they die, the game gets harder. Not so much on your easier difficulties. On your easier difficulties, you can just run around. You don't really need to worry about anything. But when you go on to those harder difficulties, like lethal, the whole game, it's a different game at that point. It's a completely different game. Your choices actually matter, and you know they matter as well, and it makes you care about all the decisions that you're making, and it makes you think twice about doing certain things. You don't just run straight past a horde of zombies because you know that you're on an easy difficulty and you can basically just either fight them and be fine or get away. You can't do that. Like, the harder difficulties make everything else so important in the game, like cars, fuel, weapons, stats. It just elevates everything to being important. Every survivor has different traits that affect stamina, health, morale. They subtly shape their behavior, and the skills, and these are skills that determine whether your base thrives or collapses. Some survivors are optimists, others are ticking time bombs. The game never tells you who is good or bad. You've just got to learn through consequences and through playing the game and understanding it. And this is why I think it's not appreciated the way it is, because in order to actually appreciate the game and realise how good it is, you actually have to put the play time in. You've got to learn the game, and understand it, because the game doesn't hold your hand. It just throws you in, it tells you how to do a few things, and then that's it. You've got to learn everything else yourself, unless you go on YouTube and you watch a bunch of tutorials and stuff on how to do it. If you just jump in blind, unless you are actually dedicated, you'll probably just play it for a little bit and then just move on to something else, because you don't really understand what's going on in the game. So many survival games pretend that resources are scarce, but they're actually not. State of Decay enforces that. It, especially on like Lethal, resources are hard to come by. You've got to really go out of your way to get them. They go quickly, everything costs more to do. On the easier difficulties, yeah, you can go and get loads of resources, you're fine. But if you really, really want to challenge yourself, you stick it on lethal difficulty, and resources are just difficult to come by. You can get like bags of materials to build things, you can get meds, but you're going to be using those meds a lot, which means they're going to go down. You don't come across things as often. You've got to go out of your way. I've had to like get on the radio and get other communities to help me find resources on the harder difficulties, because sometimes you just can't come across what you need to come across, especially if there's certain freaks, which are like, the freaks are the harder sort of like boss zombies of the game. If they're around in a place where you need to go to get some resources, you might want to go somewhere else, depending on what freak it is. And yeah, like if you run out of meds, your people aren't healing when you change to a different character. Normally you change to a different character, if you've got enough meds, the people that are hurt, when you're not them, they will slowly recover from their injuries. But if you haven't got any meds, they're not going to recover. And that can become a death sentence for that person, because if you're injured, it affects everything. It affects your stamina, it affects your max health, it affects how long you can be running around out of your base for, scavenging and doing missions, and you will end up getting that person killed, especially on the higher difficulties. Vehicles aren't safe, fuel is limited, cars degrade, crashes are permanent. Like I've said a million times, on the higher difficulties, you can't just... On the lower difficulties, you can just run everything over. You'll be fine. But on the harder difficulties, you can't do that, because your car will end up damaged. You'll end up stranded somewhere, having to get out of your car, and then you've got a long trek to get back. Oh no. How annoying. Do we have a toolbox? Jesus. And if you bump into any freaks, it's going to be a bad day. It's going to be a bad day, especially if you bump into a feral far out from your community, because you've got to figure out a way to get away from that. You've constantly got trade-offs. You either save resources or you save time. You either help another community or you kill them all and take their supplies. On the harder difficulties, killing them all is probably a bad idea, because they'll one-shot you with a gun easily. You'll be dead. They killed the person I was with.
I might need a doctor soon.
What? Okay, we gotta go. In most games, zombies are just obstacles. In State of Decay, they're actual pressure. The zombies are pressure. 1 or 2, that's fine. You can deal with that. You can sneak around them. You can stealth kill them. You can even fight them. But a zombie horde, that's a different story. And the freaks are a different story. You can get in some really bad situations if you're not thinking about what you're doing and making the right decisions. Sometimes it's just easier to sneak around them and go on your business. Oh my god. This horde's already. Then we'll drive the car back home and see if we can heal this person. Other days, you've got to go and kill them all because they're right where you need to be. If they see you and you start making a bunch of noise, it attracts more of them. They come over. Around. What are they doing? See if we can clear all of these. Oh my god. Why would they do that? If you bump into a screamer, it screams and then it attracts loads of zombies from around the local area that just come running. There's a lot of hazards when it comes to the zombies in State of Decay, which again just adds another level of risk versus reward factor to the game. The zombies migrate, so there'll be a horde and they'll be slowly moving through the map. And eventually, when the horde gets big enough, they'll go into a building and then they'll infest the building. And that infestation will attract more zombies and freaks to that building. And eventually, you're going to have to go and deal with that. And you want to deal with it just as it happens rather than leave it. Because if it gets really big, you're going to have all the freaks there. And it's just going to be a pain to go and sort that out. And you're probably going to lose people. They're probably going to die. And again, it adds a whole nother dynamic to zombie games. Station is cleared. Just the hordes themselves, you've got to try and avoid them a lot of the times because there's just so many zombies. You know, you've got like 10, 12 zombies all walking around together, if one of them sees you, they all see you, and they're all coming for you. Noise attracts them. The more noise you make, the more zombies are going to come towards that noise. Which again, I don't think there's many zombie games that actually do that very well, or do it at all. But State of Decay does it perfectly. Noise actually matters in this game. So I'll give you a little rundown of what the freaks are, because I probably haven't explained that too well. They're infected zombies called freaks. There's screamers, which they'll scream if they see you, and that attracts zombies from the local area to that noise. And then if you let them scream, you're going to have to fight. You're either going to have to run away, or you're going to have to fight like 10, 15, 20 zombies, which is never fun. Especially if you're on your way back from a run. Oh my god, no.
Oh, I need a medic.
Oh my god, come on. Oh, we're dead. We're dead. No. No, not Zane. This game is... Oh
Okay, Zed's around, but I can't secure the place with a plague heart close by.
my god. This game is definitely trying to kill me right now. And your guy's already injured, and he's got, you know, your stamina's low, he's tired. This is another thing, in this game you get tired. Once you've been out for a while, your stamina starts to drop, and you have less and less and less stamina. And the more stamina you have, the longer you can run for. So if you haven't got that much stamina, you're going to run for a little bit, and then your guy's going to stop running, and the zombies are going to catch up with you. And you need stamina to fight as well, so you've got to manage that. You can't just run around all the time everywhere and that not affect you. There's bloaters, and they explode if you come into contact with them, releasing like a gas that will hurt you a lot, and it restricts your movement as well, and it doesn't affect the other zombies. So they're still going to attack you, and you can't move properly if you're in the cloud of gas. And the bloaters will some of them will just be laying on the floor, and you won't see them until the last minute. There's been plenty of times where I've been driving a car, I've driven straight over one, and when you do that, the gas sticks onto the car. So you've got to get out of the car, and that's just a nightmare in itself. And they do so much damage. So much damage. I've been killed. I've lost a lot of people from bloaters just laying on the floor that I haven't seen. Or even when I've been running away from zombies and I've been looking backwards while I've been running and I've just ran straight into one. It's scary when it happens. It's scary when it happens because you got to think on your feet. Zane was our guy, man. Oh! Those bloaters are so annoying when they're just laying on the floor like that. There's ferals, which are fast and agile. They run on all fours and they chase you down and they dodge your attacks. These, in my opinion, are the most dangerous zombies on the game, especially on lethal difficulty. They are difficult and you can't get away from them. You can run and they will catch up with you actually. Yeah, you can run, but they will catch up with you. They'll jump at you. You've got to dodge them when they jump at you. If you don't time it right, they're going to get you. They've got a good amount of health. And on lethal difficulties, these things are just to be avoided at all costs. at all costs. I try not to fight them at all, to be honest. They're the scariest zombies on the game, and in my opinion they're just best to be avoided. Screamer over there, we don't want anything to do with that right now. Blood feral, where? Oh my god, no. Oh my god, we're gonna lose. No! No!
Drop the screamer now.
No! No! Not Nathan! Oh my god. Oh my god, there's a feral already. Oh my god. What is going on? I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm literally dead. What even happened there? Why? Oh, stop it. Oh, get up. I didn't want to... Oh my god, man. Why are there so many ferals rolling around? Get up. Oh my god, am I gonna lose someone already? Oh my god. What is going on? Well, this is a failure. No.
I just saw a screamer. Keep your distance from the bloater. I need a break. Uh-oh, only one left. One more of that.
Oh, we're gonna die.
Dying here. Oh, shit, shit, shit.
Oh, they just come out of nowhere. Well, looks like we're going to start another one. I'll be back in a minute. But this is another thing. This is another reason why the game is amazing. Different zombies have different abilities, and certain ones you just have to avoid. You just have to avoid, or you've got to be up to have a fight and potentially lose one of your characters. And then there's juggernauts, which are just huge, massive zombies that charge at you. They do massive damage, and they'll pick people up and rip them in half. And again, they have got so much health. I kind of avoid them as well. Yeah, you do fight them every now and then. They're not as bad as the ferals, but they're just scary because of how much damage they can do, and the fact that they can just pick you up and rip you in half, and then that's your character gone, just dead. One shot kill, pretty much. It's scary when you've got to fight one of them, especially if you've got to fight one of them and there's a bunch of zombies around you've got to fight as well.
Gotta stay away from the sick fucking zombies.
I hope he doesn't kill him. Oh wow. I haven't got anything to even help him. Go on, keep shooting him. Oh, he's dead.
Shit, I'm fucking dead, bro!
He's ran back into the house. I've literally lost all my people, and I gotta fight this jug. Ouch. That's it. I'm ripped apart. No. Okay. I didn't think that community was gonna work. Yeah, it's not the freaks of the game are probably the scariest thing about the game, to be honest with you. Then there's plague zombies, which are zombies that have got the infection, and if they touch you, you then get the infection. Once you get hit enough and you get enough of the infection, then you've got a certain amount of time to go and create a cure and take the cure before that person turns into a zombie. If you don't cure them, they turn into a zombie. That's when you get the option to either exile them or just execute them in your community, in your base, basically. And then there's plague hearts, which are just these big heart-looking things that sit in buildings and they infect the entire area, attracting plague zombies and freaks to that area, making it a very dangerous place to be around and to navigate around. And the whole point of the game is to basically clear the map of all of those plague hearts. But those plague hearts have got loads of health. Once you start attacking them, they wake up, they start making loads of noise, attracts loads of zombies. If there's freaks nearby, they're gonna come. Then you have to fight the zombies off, you've got to kill the plague heart, and it can just end up into, you can be in a house, be attacking a plague heart, and then have, you know, like 20 zombies just crowding in the house trying to kill you as well. And you've got to dodge all of them, you've got to kill them all, then you've got to go back and carry on trying to kill the plague heart. It's a scary time when you've got to clear one of those and you've got to come prepared. I normally take fire, does a good amount of damage to them, so I normally take like petrol bombs. C4 does it really quickly, but C4 on the harder difficult is difficult to make that and find it. The plague hearts reshape the entire regions. They force strategic decisions rather than reactionary combat. You go there with a strategy on how you're going to deal with that, and you hope that it goes well. And if it doesn't go well, you're probably not, that person's probably not coming back. And when someone dies, it affects the rest of your community.
No more of that. Bet that hurt, huh? Fire in the hole! Pretty roughed up.
Oh my god. Get up, get up.
Can't do it. I can't keep this up.
Alright guys, ready to get back to the game.
It's damaged. Just keep up the pressure.
What's happening?
No more Mr. Plagueheart. That should mean no more plague Zeds around here. This might be too much to
Okay,
carry.
we gotta go. Oh my god, no! No! Ah, where did he come from? We lost Ella. And then there's also curveballs, and they affect big portions of the map, and they add additional challenges like zombies being able to see further or hear better, making them harder to kill, making them do more damage to cars if you hit them, and loads more things. And they make you have to approach situations differently, so you're not always just running around approaching everything the same. And I think the curveballs are a brilliant addition to the game. And like I say, no other game when it comes to zombie survival games is doing things like this. So State of Decay doesn't really tell you a story. It creates conditions for stories to happen, and you basically create your own stories. And I prefer it that way. I don't think there should be like there's storylines like you can promote a leader to your community, and then say that person's a builder, you get certain missions, you go through those missions, and then you get, at the end of doing all of those missions, you can build like a certain thing in your base. Same thing with, you've got like sheriff, warlord, builder, trader, and each one has like their own specific sort of storyline, but it's not really a storyline. You create your own story from what actually happens in the game, and it makes it a much more personal sort of experience. I don't think there should be a crazy in-depth storyline, because then you take away from the actual experience of the game, and the game creates that itself. You don't need a team of people, writing storylines and this is how the game's going to go from start to finish. You want it to be random. You want there to be like short storylines for different community members and things like that, but you don't want it to just go in one direction. This game can go in any direction that you choose it to go, and I think that they should definitely keep that, because that's a main plus to the game. It's one of the things that makes it unique from any other survival games that I've ever played. It creates its own storylines. Like, one of your survivors died because you decided to stay too long, or you were greedy and you wanted to get more stuff and stay out for longer, or you underestimated the situation. Fuck's sake. Well. Oh my god. Why did I go there? That death then causes morale loss in your community, leadership shifts, survivor conflicts. It's like one mistake ripples outwards and it creates its own story. It's the closest you're going to get, I think, to basically playing a Walking Dead game that is actually a good game. Because most of the Walking Dead games are terrible. Like, you've got the Telltale games, I think that's what they're called. They're good, but that's just one storyline. You play through it and it's done. This is the closest you're going to get to how I think an actual Walking Dead zombie game should have been made. Proper survival, build your own community, go out and scavenge, have conflicts with other communities, become friends with other communities, trade, go and get resources, fight zombies. State of Decay is the closest you're ever going to get to that, and to be honest, it is that. It's amazing. No scripted game can replace what State of Decay offers by it just not being scripted and by not having just one linear storyline to go down. It branches out, and it's up to you how things work out and what happens. It's not chosen for you, which is one of the reasons, again, why I think this is the best zombie game that's ever been made. And I hope that they stay along those lines. When it comes to State of Decay 3, I hope that they don't go too much down the let's script everything out and have certain things happen that they choose. I think they should stay on the, okay, we'll do storylines for each individual character, but things can go any way that the player chooses to go, depending on decisions and what they do. So like I said before, leadership in State of Decay is not cosmetic. Each leader type represents like a worldview. You've got your warlords, which rule through force. That's like your Negan sort of community leader. You've got your sheriff, who like seeks order and wants things to be fair. That's like your Rick sort of person. You've got your builder. They focus on like stability, having good things built, making sure that your community is all built up nicely. And then you've got your trader, which they prioritize cooperation and trading, getting different trade routes, things like that. Your ending reflects the values that you enforced. So you basically choose, do I want to rule through force? Do I want to be a warlord and kill everyone and make everybody kneel? Do I want to be a sheriff and have everything fair? Do I want to have trade routes? You decide, the way that it goes. And again, it creates its own storyline. You create the storyline. You're shaping the world that you're playing in. The world isn't shaping what you do. You're the one that's making the decisions and shaping what happens. Why do no other zombie games even come close to State of Decay, in my opinion? While other zombie games excel in one aspect, State of Decay excels in everything. Building a world you have to manage to survive in, making decisions you make crucial, bringing drama and emotion into your playthroughs. In State of Decay, you actually have to survive. You can't just die and respawn or restart the level. State of Decay 2 is the only game that combines long-term survival, emotional attachment, social consequences, strategic resource management. It doesn't just simulate an apocalypse, it simulates life once the apocalypse happened. The apocalypse has happened, and now you've got to build a community and live in it. You're not just fighting in the apocalypse, you're trying to survive, and that's what State of Decay does better than anything. It makes you have to survive. You're not just getting a gun and running around fighting a load of zombies. You're trying to survive after the apocalypse has already happened, and to rebuild as much as you can, or as best as you can. State of Decay's real horror isn't the zombies, it's responsibility. It's knowing that your decisions shape what actually happens within the game, and sometimes it ends up in deaths. It's realising that survival isn't about being strong or being the main character or the hero. It's about being careful. It's about having your community members survive, so you've got the skills necessary to make life as easy as possible for you as you can. I hope this video explains why State of Decay 2 isn't just a great zombie game, but it's a masterpiece. I probably could have done I probably could have went a bit more in depth, but this is the first time I've done a video like this, so it's a bit all over the place, and I apologise for that. But I just hope that this video shows people that State of Decay is the best zombie game that's ever been made. If you love survival games and you love zombies, if you haven't played this game, you are missing out massively. And you might as well, it's free on Game Pass, you might as well download it and just dive into it. State of Decay 3 is going to come out, I don't know, 2027, 2028, 2029. You've still got a couple of years where you can dive into this one, learn everything and enjoy the game for what it is, because it's a game that you shouldn't miss. If you love zombie survival games, or just survival games in general, don't miss out on this game. Like, pick it up, it's free on Game Pass, play it, you won't regret it. State of Decay is one of the reasons why I get Xboxes, because I don't PC game, I've always been a console gamer, and this game, I'm not missing out on this game. I just hope that when they release State of Decay 3, it's as good and better than State of Decay 2, and I want them to release a collector's edition, because I got the collector's edition just there for State of Decay 2. I want another one, like physical, because too many games now are going all digital, and I prefer to have physical things that I can look at and I can actually own. You will have to let me know what you think of State of Decay. Comment in the comment section. Do you think it's the best zombie game that's ever been made? Maybe you disagree with me. Tell me why you disagree with me, because I'll be interested. I mean, you won't change my mind, but I'll be interested to know your thoughts on what you think is the best zombie game of all time. And if you don't think it's the best zombie game of all time, maybe it's because you haven't played it on Lethal. Go back, download it again, put it on Lethal, and you're probably not going to survive, because like I said, I'm trying to complete it on Lethal without using any guns, and I'm starting to think it's not possible. I'm on like attempt probably like 15 by now, and I think I'd survived like 10 days, and that's the most I've survived. Most of the time I'm surviving like 2 or 3, and then all of my community is dead and I've got to start again. So I might have to just play it on lethal and actually use guns again, because it's a dangerous place to be when you're playing that game on lethal. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you watching the video all the way through. Leave a like, jump in the comments, tell me what you're thinking. Do you love State of Decay as much as I do? If you do, why do you love it? If you don't love it, tell me why you don't love it. What do you want for State of Decay 3? Let me know. There's loads of things I want for State of Decay 3. Maybe I'll do a video at some point and just go through what I think they should be doing with State of Decay 3. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. We play State of Decay a lot. This channel, basically, we just complete as many games as possible. I think I'm on like probably 17 or 18 games completed on the channel now. So we play a whole variety of games, but at the minute we are diving into State of Decay 2 again, because it's one of my favourite games of all time. And we'll always be playing State of Decay on the channel, whether it's State of Decay 2, State of Decay 3. That's always going to be a part of the channel. I'll always come back to it because it is one of my favourite games of all time, and I don't think that will ever change. So if you like State of Decay 2, subscribe to the channel, jump in the chat when we're live streaming it, give me some tips and pointers, or just have a chat. I'm up for that. But yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. Peace out.